Yo. What up, what up, what up, what up?
What's good? Good. Chilling, man.
Uh,
Chilling. Playing with my
uh,
dog.
but we, sometimes they think black people don't start on time, but we gonna start on time. We gonna
Right.
start right
Yeah.
on
Right on time.
time.
Right on time.
So first, I like to welcome everybody to this official sit down talk and chat called Let's Talk Dance, hosted by yours truly, Queen Peter Brand, and I have ooh, the privilege of interviewing someone that is near and dear to me. You know what I'm saying? Goes by the name of GB Easy. I know him as Gary Beauford and GB Easy.
Yeah.
This man, just talking about it. Been in the game for a little over 20 years. Credits include Escape, The Weeknd, Kanye West, Jacquees, Key Sweat, Shariah J, Coming to America. Without further ado, you heard? We have GBE,
What's good? What's
Hey,
going on, man?
look,
What's
brother,
going
look.
on?
This we talking. Let's talk dance. We talking to someone who I feel understands dance from the inside out. This is our industry edition of Let's Talk Dance. The Let's Talk Dance platform, we gonna cover so many different facets of the dance community, the dance industry, the people that are in the culture, different cultures, people that trend dancing and aspiring dancers. So we had this opportunity to have a conversation and converse and talk and things like that. So you know what I'm saying? Tell the people, you know what I mean? Talk to the people, G.
Man, first off, it's a blessing to be here. Uh, 20 plus in this game. Started back in 2002. P was there when I started. She the one gave me my nickname, GB Easy. So it's definitely a blessing to be here with you. The fact that we still this tight since we started is definitely a blessing. It's amazing, man. So I appreciate you having me to be able to give some type of knowledge to being in this industry this long and being able to work with the people that I've been able to work with, which is definitely a blessing. So appreciate you asking me to be a part. And I'm always whatever you ask me to do. If I can be there, you already know I'm there. So.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about who Gary is. Who Gary is, you know what I'm saying? Tell people where you from, where you grew up, and the start of your career.
Okay. Well, I grew up on the west side of Detroit, Michigan, man. 7 Mile and Lasher. Shout out to all my Detroit homies at 313. As you always repping. Never home, but always repping. But yeah, man, I've that's where I was born and raised. I started dance there. Um, my brother, my baby brother, he's another one that's been a part of my journey and got me started. He was the first in my family to ever go on tour. He was touring with Charlie Wilson before I ever got into this industry. And he was one of the reasons that I got into the industry. So, um, yeah, man, being from Detroit, Michigan, a dude, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really thinking about dance like that. And, basketball was my thing back then. Basketball was life. But God blessed me to find dance, like I said, through my baby brother and people like yourself. And it's been a wrap ever since, man. I've been enjoying it. It ain't been easy, but it's definitely been an enjoyable journey. And I look back at the things that I've been able to accomplish, the places I've been able to see, the people that I've been able to work with. And like I said, it's nothing but a blessing, man. So I'm here, been in Atlanta for going on 12 years this year, I think. Yeah, at the end of this year, it'll be 12 years. And been blessed to be able to teach and work. Just transitioned out of teaching a regular slot. But yeah, man, it's been a blessing, man. Working and dancing in Atlanta has been nothing but a blessing. So definitely.
So what? So you moved from Detroit. So when
Hmm.
you first moved, you moved. Well, I know the story, but You know, tell the
Yeah,
people.
yeah. DMV. That's where I got my training from. DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's where I got my training from. Shout out to Culture Shock DC, which me and my sis here are alumni of. That's where we started. Culture Shock, man. That was the blessing. I've met so many amazing people just through that company. It's been crazy. But that's where I got my training. I trained with Culture Shock for like 5.5 years before I started like working. And then from there was back and forth to New York City. I was up there heavy. Broadway Dance Center before a lot of these other studios was popping up that are out there now. But Broadway Dance Center, I was there. This back when the Luan was there. This back when Rat was there. This back when Jared Grimes was still teaching. You got people like Jermaine Brown was still teaching. Yeah, man, it was a different energy. It was a different space. But everybody was hungry, and I miss New York, by the way, man. It's the hunger there is crazy. They be fighting for it. But DC, DMV, I got my start there through Culture Shock. Had my own thing with my homie, one of my close friends, Chris Law, GNC. Had that for a little bit. Then I was able to transition away. When I left, I started my own company, Team We Gonna Make It. That ran for a good 5 years out there. And was able to train a lot of people through that, train a lot of dancers, and some of those dancers have gone on to amazing things and been able to do amazing things. So shout out to the DMV area, man. Anybody and everybody that comes out to DMV, East Coast is fly. They freaking amazing. They on some other stuff. And usually go out to LA and Atlanta and all these other places and do amazing things, man. So shout out to the DMV area, yo. Y'all raised the, oh, even though I'm from Detroit, that's my second home. And they always show love. And it's, yeah, they just got a different sauce, man. That DC swag, that DC DMV Maryland, it's a different swag, yo. So I suggest any of y'all, if y'all go out there, my people that know, that teach, that go travel and teach, man, get out there. Yeah, they got something you're gonna want to have in your repertoire of sauce, skill, whatever you call it. They got it. You need to go get it. It's definitely it.
Listen, what he said, make sure y'all share the live, because
Yeah.
we about to get into it. And y'all know I'm pretty extremely candid. I thought it was a good idea to come outside so the sun can hit my beautiful chocolate skin. However, Carmen, I'm over
Ain't
here
nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing
burning
wrong with it.
up. So if you see me on my church girl fan vibe, judge yourself. You heard? Judge yourself. Don't judge me. Judge yourself. It was my choice that got me out here. So, but we gonna keep the party going. We gonna keep the party going. So the thing is, let's talk about training, because you said something about training, and let's talk about training, because training back then and training now, in my opinion, totally different.
Totally.
So talk a little bit about the difference in the training, the aesthetic of the training, the vibe of the training from back then up until now.
Man, well, training back in the DMV was, I was on Culture Shock, but it was definitely a Culture Shock. Coming from Detroit, Michigan, if anybody know anything about Detroit, we the hood. It's the hood. Yeah, we the hood. It's yeah. So for getting into the DMV and getting into that training was definitely different. Nobody was so hungry about the end product that they skipped steps. Like literally the training was prioritized. It was important. And to me now, that's the difference. We trained to get, yeah, we were training to get the gig, but we knew we would get the gig from the training. The difference now is I only go to class to get the gig. So it's not necessarily, you don't catch a lot of, to me, and this is all my opinion, you don't catch a lot of dancers that are training to actually get better, which will in turn give you the gig. It's more so I'm training to get the gig. So it's a different way to go about it. And I can't knock anybody's, way of going about it. I just know for me, and I preach this to my dancers now, that if you focus on your training, all that will come. It'll all come because those people will see it. They're going to see the work that you put in. They're going to see the effort that you put in. They're going to see your growth. And I'm going to, I need that. I need him or I need her a part of my team or down what I'm doing. Or, I need to work with you, whatever the case may be. I just knew that. And that's what was instilled in us, literally, from, I call him my sensei, Joseph Nantanovan. He was one of the dudes that literally got me into teaching, but he was a dude that trained. And when he trained, your focus was just train, just get better. And as you get better, those opportunities, those where you need to be, where you want to be, you will get there. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't prioritize the gig. It was more so prioritizing the training and actually getting better. So that way you could be on those stages or you could be able to not necessarily say take the job, but how they do it now is you can go take a job from somebody. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, well, no, we don't want you no more. We want this person because, yeah, they got what it is. But the training is what did it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was, for me, the difference in now and then. It literally, and I mean, you already knew that we didn't have social media like this. I think the closest thing we had at that time was Facebook. YouTube was starting to get hot, and we only had Facebook. So even then, you know what I'm saying, it was just like we focused on the training. You know what I mean? We focused on putting the money in and going to LA, not necessarily to be buddy with you, but it was just like, oh no, I want to get this dancing. And through that dancing, we became buddy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the other way around, you know what I mean? To where I'm trying to be cool with you because you close to this person and that's going to get me in the door. You know what I'm saying? So it was just different. It was just different. And again, I can't knock it how we get it now, because they out here getting it. So if it works for you, God bless. You know what I mean? But I know for me, training got me to do a lot of the stuff that I was able to do and still able to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still a student to this day. Like, I believe that wholeheartedly. Classes, the training, in and outside of class will get you to where you need to be and will get you to be seen by the people you want to be seen by. And so that was the difference for me, like, seriously.
And those are all great gems for the people that's tuning in to really, you know what I'm saying, gravitate to and hold on to. Training. So training is important. We often find people skip steps, and sometimes the skipping steps works for them, like you said. Sometimes it doesn't work for the ones who came when it mattered. You know what I mean, to train. But I think something that's important in conversation is, how long are you going to last skipping steps? How long
Right,
do you
that part.
last skipping
That part.
steps? People that don't skip steps tend to last a little longer. With
Right. Yeah. And that's the crazy, because you might get on from an opportunity, but you know what I'm saying? Then you after the opportunity, you wonder where the next one is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So the quick joint, to me, it's not always the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we want it quick? As a human being, I even want it quick. But as you know what I'm saying, in this industry, you got to understand that longevity is the goal. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be on the job 1 week. What you going to do next year? You know what I'm saying? What you going to do next week? Or what you going to do tomorrow? What you going to do 5 years from now? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, you get this, I think for me, because I've been, I guess, teaching so long and kind of been in a place of, even though I still train, I still teach a lot. So imparting the dancers, trying to get them to understand that it's what they call it, a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon. That joint is longevity. It's not, oh, okay, well, I don't have a job this week, I'm gonna quit dance because I ain't working. What? Give yourself some time. It's all right. You just in between jobs. It's okay. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? But getting dancers to understand that now, of course, because of social media, which is a blessing and a curse. It's hard to get them to understand that, because we see, and we were just talking about this earlier. You know what I mean? When we see certain people get on, we think it just happened. You know what I'm saying? And we don't understand that some opportunities been like 10 years in the making. You know what I mean? And we just see it and be like, oh dang, they just been working, they just got out there. Nah, they probably been talking to them people or that camp for a while. You know what I'm saying? And was able to, since they've been putting in the work, just like for yourself, you've been putting in those gyms, and then now these people are like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you've been around for this long. Come on in. Why don't you come on in this room? You know what I mean? Come work with this person, or come teach here, or you know what I mean? So you've been able to see it for yourself. Yeah, it's a marathon. You got to keep running. You got to keep running the race. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sprint. Most people, like you said, that sprint and get it quick, be out of there real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've trained a lot of dancers, and in training a lot of dancers, I've only seen, out of a lot of dancers, there's only been a few of them that actually go on to do stuff. And that's because they grasp and understand that, okay, if he been doing it for 20 plus, then, and I want to work and be where he at, then I got to understand that it's a continuous thing. It's a race that I got to keep running.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's not a sprint.
I mean, y'all, again, gotta keep saying it. Share it alive. Share it alive. Let's talk dance. This is what we talking
Please
about. We
share it
talking
alive.
all things dance, talking all things industry. But we talking about the training is important. Let's kind of do away with having the entire thought process being microwavable, quick fix dinner. You know what I'm saying? A little analogy that I like to share with most people is, you know what I'm saying? You put something in the microwave because you gotta hurry up. Right? Hurry up and get there, hurry up and do this, hurry up and do that. But when you go to your grandmother's house or your mama's house and see Gary, see, we friends in HD quality, right? So I can say to my brother, he's gonna appreciate this analogy, because even though Gary is little in stature, the brother likes to eat, okay? So the expectation is
Yes,
when he go back to Detroit, he would hope that his mom is not sticking something in the microwave to cook for him. He is hoping, he has great expectation that there is a meal that is going to be prepared. You like how I did that, G? Look. Shout out to Mama G. Shout out to Mama G. Listen, at some point, you gotta sit down for the full meal.
Yeah.
You gotta do that. There's nutrients, there's nourishment, there's fellowship in the full meal. That quick. You missed the fellowship. You missed the moment. And so we transition in the conversation into a fellowship aspect. Let's talk about the importance of relationships. The importance of relationships in this time, in general, in life. The importance of relationships in the industry.
Man, yeah, that's what, man, that's about it. That's next to training. That literally, because that'll keep you working to where, skip an audition. You can skip the audition. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be like the other dancers who are chasing the audition, man. Like, the relationship will get you in the door. I'll give an example. I was doing artist development at a Marvelous Studio. Shout out to Marvelous Enterprises. And I was doing artist development. The next room over, Zach Lee, he was working with Escape on their reunion. This was when they first came back. And he was working in there. They had already had auditions and everything. And the girls necessarily didn't like the guys. We happened to be coming out of rehearsal at the same time. Now, I know Zach. I'm cool with Zach. He know me. He know my work. And we've been friends since I've been living in Atlanta. As soon as I come out of rehearsal, he like, yo, what you got going on? I was like, well, no, I just came out of a little artist development session working with an artist up and coming. He's like, bro, no, I mean, like, what you got going on? Like, are you on any jobs or anything? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm this making the bread right now. He's like, Doc, I need a guide. I need guys. The girls don't like the guys from the audition. We need a guy. I'm like, okay, I'm down. Job. I've been on that job for the last 6 years. Relationship, bro. Relationship is so important. It's like I said, it's just important as training. Who you know in this industry and who you are have relationship with, not just who you know. Let me not stop it there, but it's because I know a bunch of people, but a lot of them haven't. A lot of that just because I know them haven't got me a job, haven't put me in place to be in a certain position. But that opportunity, that knowing Zach and being cool with Zach, and shout out to my man Zach. If y'all don't know him, check out his studio, Zach Lee Studios. The dude works. He works, but also does videography, photography, everything. His place is dope. But because I knew him and had a relationship with him, I was able to hop on a job. And that job I've been on it almost, like I said, 6 years now. So relationship is important, even for yourself. Me and P, I've been able to shoot her name somewhere, and she's been able to get a phone call and say, hey, I got your name from Gary, that's that and the third. Vice versa, it's in the same thing. Like, relationship is so important, man. Like, and not just knowing somebody, because you can know a lot of people in this industry, and just because you know them, a lot of people will have expectation of, I know you, so I'm expecting you to get me a job. And it's like, it don't work that way. Just because I know you don't mean I'm gonna pass you something. But if I have relationship with you, if I'm a friend with you, if we're quote unquote, I guess, talking and or dating, there is access that I have to you that somebody else doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So relationship is so important. Y'all got to make sure that I tell dancers this all the time. After you taking somebody's class, it don't matter whose class you taking, go introduce yourself, talk to them, get to know them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if it's somebody you really want to rock with, go deeper. You know what I'm saying? Contact them, pick their brain so that way they know who you are. They're like, oh, okay, well, this person, they be hitting me up, asking me questions all the time. They want to know, like, or they hit me up for sessions, or they hit me up for privates, or they trying to be in a room. Hey man, let's bring them on. I got an opportunity. Let's bring them on. Let's bring P on. Let's bring Gary on. Like, I can't emphasize enough how important, number one, training is. Number two, relationship, especially in this industry and in this day and time. If you want to bypass auditions, if you want to, and there's nothing wrong with auditions. I feel like dancers should still audition. I'm happy that auditions are coming back around. But relationship can get you past an audition. You walk in a room and they like, hey man, you know what? Hey Gary, hey Gary, man, you don't even gotta just come up to the table, man. You just come up here and chill with us. Like it's so important to know people, but know them past the point of just their name. You know what I'm saying? Or the fact that, oh, I'm a dancer, so I know Gary. Nah, you don't really know me. You don't really know me. But if you got relationship, like P said, if you got relationship, yo, there's nobody that can outbeat you in having a relationship. Nobody that can I don't care how good you can dance. You're not beating somebody that got a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. Vital. Capital V.
Listen,
Vital.
y'all could take advantage of these gems. Listen, the platform on Instagram is free. Salvation also is free. So if you need Jesus, tap into that too. And these gems is free 99 right now. You need to catch them now while they're free before folks start charging for these gems. If folks start charging you for them, you ain't gonna be able. They already charged. You ain't gonna be able to tap. You ain't gonna be able to tap in. So you might as well share the live, share the post, so people can know what's going on. Gary has inspired so many up and coming, inspiring professional dancers in his career and time, and he's a product of his own his own wisdom that he's sharing. And so we really gotta be paying attention to exactly what's taking place and how things are right now. So we talk about the training, we talk about the relationships. Let's talk about, I wanted to bring up something that is probably gonna laugh, but before there was hashtags and things like that, we used to talk about back in the day, I think it was somewhere between 2007 and 2008. What a nasty pocket is. What is a nasty pocket groove? What is a little nasty pocket? See, some of y'all mind, some people's
Yeah.
minds just drifted off into the sunset, something else. But anybody that knows what I'm talking about is probably gonna tickle your spirit a little bit, cause a little nasty pocket.
Nasty groove. That is, I mean, they call it sauce now, man. Like it's called sauce now. But your nasty pocket is when you got a groove that people they look at it and most times it's a stank face. Like you give damn, like you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If you watch Portia's stuff, like watch P. I know we talking about myself and all that, but watch P. Like she can tell you, she got the sauce, man. Like she got the sauce. Nasty pocket groove that like literally like that takes back when I was we was on Culture Shock. And I think around that time we were just getting into just we trained so much, we were just getting into learn how to do certain things, and we would bounce ideas and movement off each other, man. And we just found a pocket, and we just called it a nasty pocket groove. You know what I'm saying? Like my people like Kevin Simon, shout out to my homie Kevo, Nico Joy, like Tony Czar, Loud. They to me them are the originators of it. Shout out to both of them. But yeah, man, like they call it sauce now. You know, they got the Sauce Kings. You got Marv, you got Josh. You know what I'm saying? You got people like Jay Scott. Let me not forget Jay Scott. It's a lot of people I can name, but like to me, those were and still are people that are innovative in their movement. Like I can talk about Jay Scott right now. Like if you don't know who Jay Scott is or what Jay Scott has done, like look up my homie. Like the dude to me, I've been training with the dude back when he was like 13, 14 years old. He was on when Usher started the whole Sauce Kings. He was with that. And he was just, dude was fired. Dude still fired. Freaking crazy. Jay, come back out here and bring the sauce, my dude. But yeah, man, just nothing but sauce, yo. Nothing but sauce. And like I said, P, she's on it. If y'all seen her stuff, it ain't just beat your feet. P can do all the styles. She can give you all. She got multiple bags that she can pull out in. Like, yeah. They call it. It's amazing. Like I love, what people have been able to do and how it's been able to like evolve. Because even though, like I said, back when we were in DC together, we called it the Nasty Pocket Groove, but how it's evolved now, and it's not just in a certain place; it's everywhere, and everybody's tapping into what that sauce is for them. The sauce ain't nothing but personality, and you being confident in your personality. That's all sauce is. Like people try to find, oh, what is sauce? What? Hey man, these people, they just confident at what they do. Confident at what they do. They confident. Marv is confident at what he do. Josh, confident at what they do. That's all sauce is. All sauce is. Once you are confident in yourself and what you do, that's your sauce. That's your I usually say
That's your
superpower.
it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to another homie who I know I'm gonna get on the platform at some point. Shout out to Cody Wiggins. Unforgettable. He definitely is responsible for the breeding of quite a few up and coming, or not up and coming, but people that actually are there now. Definitely heavy on the response.
But he was a part of
Heavy.
He was a part of their beginning. Shout out to Cody.
Yeah,
Cody
for sure.
Wiggins. Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
it's funny that you said that because that question is a question, and we just different. Some people just different. So you get a question like, you know, hey, you showing me how to beat your feet, but how do I how do I look like you?
Do it like you.
Well, problem is
Yeah.
there's only
You're
one,
not.
like it is my it.
Only
It
one.
is the combination of
Correct.
seasonings that I use. We teach beat your feet
Correct.
and go all of these different countries. We're not looking for you to become the next crazy lady, the next Queen P.
Us.
We're looking for you
Correct.
to take on the tools and create something and create it to be your own. So that when people look at you, they can say,
Right.
such and such is killing it. Such and such. Sometimes people say, oh, you remind me of it. And that's a good head nod to, whoever has been your mentor, whoever you looked up to. But the goal is the sauce and the it factor is really within who you are. No
Yourself.
need trying to be somebody
That's
else.
true.
You could take nuances
Right.
and
Right.
mesh that thing together, but to really try to make the whole aesthetic this person, it's like,
Yeah. To give an example, like with Beat Your Feet, like Daryl, how he kind of how he kind of found his own sauce with it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, but he still beats his feet, but he's found his own sauce. You know what I mean? Like he became confident in himself. Now, if y'all know Daryl, back in the day, I remember when he started, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. And P can tell you it wasn't that. But he found his sauce. And now he's confident in himself at what he does. And now he's been able to move in certain ways and do certain things. And it's like, oh shoot, you kinda got your own thing. It's the same thing, but you got your own thing and you're real confident in it. You know what I mean? So it's just being confident in yourself, man.
so that I had to take it back one time with that little throw pot. That part, the little nasty
Of course.
pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. Oh,
Look,
you take
tell them. People don't even dance with their face no more. And that's another conversation for a different day.
right. Okay.
Hey, man, you're leaving it all in your body. I don't feel it in your face.
This be the face. This be the face. Everything moving, but it's
It's given. I don't believe it.
no.
I don't believe it.
Like
I don't want to. I don't want to
Not
invest
at all.
because you don't believe it.
Right.
When you believe something, you let that thing show up here. You let that thing show up in your countenance. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Wow, it's all here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all tap into those facial expressions. Any chance y'all can get, tap in. Start if you don't know how to do facial expression exercises, you definitely can start with AEIOU. That works.
True. But P, look at it like this. Are you enjoying what you're doing? That'll just bring genuine facials. It'll bring genuine facials. That way you ain't thinking about nothing. Do you enjoy dancing? Or have you allowed it to stress you out so much to where, oh damn, I'm thinking about this, or I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about this, and you still trying to dance and enjoy it? That don't make sense. One thing I try to tell any of my students or just anybody I kind of rock with or dance with, like, make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're enjoying it. Because if you enjoying it, it'll read without you even trying to do any facial. It'll read. But if you're not enjoying it, you're probably gonna be giving me the straight face because you stressed out. The only thing you're thinking about is whatever's going on, the step, not the step, what's happening at home with your mama, with your daddy, with your sister, your brother, and you're not present. You're not present. But you gotta enjoy it. If you enjoy it, then it'll read, it'll show. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if God is he probably have just given me the gift. But when I tell you, y'all, I didn't write anything down but my bro's credits. This thing just flowing how it's supposed to flow. The man just talked about stress. So that's a cool
Right.
segue into something that I want to discuss. The environment of the
Okay.
now training classroom setting. I'm gonna speak for myself.
Ah, ah.
The environment of the training environment and the pressure and the stress. I'm gonna speak for myself and you can tell
Mm-hmm.
me how you feel. Those darn cameras,
Gotcha.
let me tell you something. It's a sure fire way,
Okay.
not for me not to train, but for me to not want to train
Mm-hmm.
in front of people. So
Understandable.
what are your thoughts about
Understand.
the new stress levels in a sense that the training environment
What?
now holds?
Because we got social media, the 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 goal is I'm gonna go to class to get a video. So I have to perform well to get the video. Now I'm putting pressure on myself to perform well instead of actually going to train and take the class. Now, if I think it's the mental, I think it definitely starts with the mental, because if my focus is, all right, I have to, I'm going to class to get a video. If my focus is that, then that's a lot of pressure that comes with that. It's a lot of pressure that comes with that. Because like I said, when class is for you to train, even if they got a camera in there, class is for you to train. The camera technically has nothing to do with you. Most times is there for promotion of the teacher and or the studio. So the camera don't usually have anything to do with you. Nothing at all. Until we got groups. Until we got groups. Now, I look at it like this. I like the camera now, but for me in my class, you won't necessarily see the camera until the end. Because by the end, I'm done with teaching. And now we're focusing on performing. So I use it because if we say we want to be a professional dancer, that camera is going to be in your face on most of the jobs that you're on, whether it be TV, film, stage, whatever it is that you got to find that camera. So I'm thankful for it because now we have on the job training in class. So I can go to class, get my training, and also be preparing for a job because now there's a camera in my face. So now I can work on performing for the camera. But the performance aspect doesn't come to the end. And because we start off with the focal point of I got to get this video, because now I'm trying to be a professional dancer and I got to have content so that since social media now is the new resume, I got to have content for people to come and see how I dance, who I'm dancing with, and my growth. You can chart my journey through my social media. I think we just got to get back to making it simple. If you just go to class for the training, again, back to what I said originally when we were first talking about training, if you just go to class for the training, the growth will show itself in the filming. Get away from the fact of, damn, I messed up. So what? That's the point of class. We're not perfect. You're not perfect. That's the point. Go train. But this, to me, if I have to sum it up, the stress level is put on ourselves. Because we may not be comfortable with a camera yet. And that's fine. So that means I think you might want to find your confidence in other classes until you're confident enough in yourself to go to that class and be in front of that camera. But again, because the job is the goal, which, yes, the job is the goal, but if you prioritize the training, the job will come. But since we don't prioritize the training, we prioritize the job, we prioritize the status, we prioritize the notoriety that comes from all these things over here, then it's a lot of pressure and stress that we are putting on ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to get used to it because we're putting nothing, we're not training. We're not in a comfortable place of growing. So that way I can comfortably get okay with the camera being myself. We go with the intent of pressure, pressure, pressure. I got to perform. Pressure. I got to be perfect. Pressure. I want to impress this choreographer. Or pressure. I want to impress this teacher. You know what I'm saying? Or pressure. I want to get this video for myself to show the world that I can dance. Instead of it just being, and I fall, and I'm human, so I fall prey to these things too. I don't want to sit here and act like I'm perfect. Like, to me, any dancer that is dancing, you fall prey to these things sometimes because, again, I have social media too. I want people to look at my social media and use it as a resume and be able to see, oh, Gary can dance. Gary's working here. Gary's doing this. Yes, I fall prey to it too, but I have to sometimes step away. Okay, what am I really? What's the point? What's really do I want to happen here? Do I want to really get better so that way I can continue working, or is my focus gonna stay? Let me focus on this job. Let me focus on impressing. Let me focus. All that's pressure. It's pressure, and it hinders you actually being comfortable in your growth. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, stress comes when you put a lot of the pressure on yourself, a lot of the pressure of social media, a lot of the pressure of if you actually just go to train and you're actually comfortable, by the time you're done with that class, you're going to be comfortable enough to go off in front of that camera. If not, find you classes that ain't worried about the camera yet until you're comfortable in yourself. And when you're confident in yourself to be able to say, you know what? Okay, now let's go try this camera. Promise you it's going to work out a lot better than you actually going in there guessing if it's going to work out. So stop stressing
let
yourself
that
out.
extra pressure go. Let it go, y'all. Just get it up off your back, because it's going to weigh you down over time, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like, I don't know if y'all understand, but this is the Let's Talk Dance. Let's Talk Dance. It's not a podcast. I don't know what God is doing, but he's doing what he does. However, comma, hashtag Let's Talk Dance, right here with my man, Gary Beauford. It has been honestly a delight to sit and talk to you, chat with you, exchange with you.
Course,
There's
man,
so much more, not even Instagram Live could even hold a full-blown conversation.
Right. Yeah, right.
But the part about the platform is to be responsible for our part in this business, which is educating the people, and letting them know the gems, and not holding on to it and being the only ones in the room who understand what's going on. That is a very selfish mentality. That is something that is not good. And the Bible talks about people perishing for a lack of knowledge. And there's a reason why knowledge is so very important, because if you don't have it, there's a hierarchy in the fact that you have the potential to perish. You could perish in your finances, your resources, everything could just go under because you don't have the knowledge. So, for all of you out there who are watching, anybody who is listening, just wants to continue to encourage you to focus your energy as a dancer, if you want to be in the industry, on training and heavy on the relationships. And definitely sum it up. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Gotta close it out. It's your girl, Twinkie, the brand is Let's Talk Dance. We out of here, my boy, GBE. You heard that?
God bless, man. Appreciate you, P.